Try hard.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Welcome.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yay! This week's episode brought to you by Square Mile
Cider Co.
Cider Co.
It's delicious.
Thank you.
Produced in Portland, Oregon.
Oh,
Hey, Portland.
cool. Hi, Jared. Hi, Jared.
Hello, Portland.
So, good evening. My name is Lindsay.
I'm Vanessa.
I'm Stephanie.
Hi, and this is the Cosplay Cabaret Workshop. I think we're number 4.
5? 4.
4. 4 is the
Four.
Dancing, planets, Enterprise, number 4. We're winning.
number 4. Number 4.
May the 4th be with you.
How fitting, since our background music today is 8-bit operators tribute to the Beatles.
Hey, right. So that's right, our local music. So we have local music, semi-local.
I'm not sure if they're local, but I would guess probably.
It's fine. So
Today we're working on all of the shiny, wonderful, glittery bits that are rhinestones.
I'm a little addicted.
It's amazing. And we are specifically working on our insignia communicators for our Star Trek Swim Through Space routine.
Fun fact, they were communicators during the era that we are doing. It's the next gen where they become communicators. They are just logos in the first iteration.
They are just logos, not communicators. Thank you.
You're welcome. I actually prefer saying communicators as well because it sounds more badass.
Right, and I was a next generation generation.
Originally they had the Nokias.
Which they have made, they have repurposed them. You can buy one now, which I kind of want. So if you've tuned in past week's episodes, last week we did a replica Star Trek Enterprise prop out of foam. Previously we made giant Class M planets out of beach balls, and then our first pilot episode was with doing some dance moves. So this week we're working on our costumes. So the act is slowly coming together, which is really exciting. So materials that you're going to need, or that we got, that may not be the most perfect materials, but what we got to work with are some stretchy tan colored fabric, which Lindsay will be talking a little bit more about why stretchy, why tan, like why is that important working with rhinestones and with costumes. Cowboy. Rhinestone space cowboy.
Firefly.
Also, you'll need some sort of adhesive glue. We have a couple of different glues here that we brought just to feature and talk a little bit about on the show. We have Gemtac, E6000, and
he is gushing everywhere.
So official.
He blew his.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine.
And then the official Swarovski crystal glue gemstone official stuff.
Super legit official.
Definitely not as cheap as the other stuff, I guess.
Right. And then another tool that isn't necessarily on your usual list, but that we thought of is these little bamboo skewers, and then this Scotch removable mounting putty. I don't know if you remember, like if you went to college and you had to like stick your posters up and pictures up on the wall, you could get this putty stuff and it was sticky, but you could totally remove it, kind of like silly putty. It was recommended that you get these like wax toothpicks that help you stick on the jewels. So what I thought of, because this is far cheaper than getting the like rhinestone special wax toothpicks, is getting a bamboo skewer instead of this putty, and as you can see, Lindsay is currently using it to place rhinestones on her project.
I mean, like ruining it.
Well, it's enhancing it. You know, no one knows what it's supposed to look like.
It's true. Well, I need to fix the thing.
So
Hold on. Everything's fine.
it's fine. All fine.
Fix the thing. You're making me sticky.
I'm going to shove it right in your face.
Thank you.
Everybody likes pointy things in their face.
So what we did is we took some of the sticky putty glue with our bamboo skewer. I'm going to drop one on the floor, and then you can wrap it around the tip of the bamboo skewer, and then dink link.
Amazing.
You can pick them up super duper easily, and it's far cheaper than the wax. The wax ones.
And the wax ones actually don't work that well. I have one, and they're for what you're gonna pay for it. This is a way better idea because Vanessa is a genius.
It was collaborative. So those, and then obviously you're gonna want your rhinestones. So we have the fancy Swarovski. I'm saying it wrong. Crystal.
That's all right. It's a tricky
rhinestones.
name. Those Austrians, man, you gotta watch out.
Super try-hard.
Yeah, freaking Austrians.
And then obviously you're gonna need an alcohol of your choice. And this tool over here is a heat set press, which we had some adventures and misadventures using. Again, Lindsay will speak to that in a moment. So those are the tools that we used for this project. You want to talk a little bit about what you're doing over there?
I do. So, as explaining, spider webs everywhere. Get the spider webs. So, as was explained earlier, I am currently bedazzling this logo. That's the cider.
I didn't call it that on the street.
I caught it.
We were all thinking it. So, currently, I'm using the E6000 glue to kind of stick on these rhinestones, and we'll get to this in a little while. But during my adventures in the beginning of the day, trying to get all of this set up for you guys, I was using the heat stick, that thing, and you know, okay.
This looks really fancy. I gotta say, after the paper long.
It sounds like a vibrator.
After
It sounds
the
exactly
computer.
like a vibrator.
I'm sorry.
It does. I would not put this anywhere near that part of my body.
As well you shouldn't, because there are various tips not for your pleasure.
Does it say that in the safety? Do not.
Please don't put this on your body.
Oh.
So, the heat stick 5000.
Faking.
It does not vibrate, sadly enough. But there are 6 different tips that you can add, and the seventh is just like a generic like stampy heat thing. And what it's supposed to do is heat up. It screws on. So it's supposed to fit over the size of your rhinestone. So you have the large sizes. This one is a 34 or 7 millimeter, and they go all the way down to the bittiest one. And right, and it goes down to the little bitty guys. And what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to heat up the sticky tack back side of these rhinestones. And theoretically, that's supposed to create a strong enough adhesive that it sticks to whatever material you're working with. It does not.
No.
We found out it does not.
No. Your creepy friend Lindsay dropped her glorious creation on the chair.
You're so sad.
Yeah.
A bunch of rhinestones popped off. I know, it was upsetting.
This is something that I found out in looking up a lot of history of rhinestones, because there's really 2 different kinds of rhinestones that you're really going to use, one of which has a hot fix back, the other one doesn't. And anybody who's done any kind of professional ballroom dancing, figure skating, whatever, those things are hand glued on one at a time, because the hot fix doesn't stay.
Yeah.
It's nice to look at if you want to have some fancy Elvis picture or something maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so I bought it because I thought, you know, hey, why not try this?
This is why they need to have a craft rental store. Where you could, you know, try different tools of crafting without having to.
Arts and crafts library.
Right?
They have a tool library.
That's what I'm saying. Similarly, they need a costume library so that I don't have to spend all my money.
You can rent sewing machines.
Women are genius.
Just saying.
So
Think about it. Think about it.
Nice idea.
What else am I supposed to talk about?
Material.
Oh, so our awesome costume crazy cat lady, pigeon lady, Keegan friend, who will be on our show next week, showing her awesome creations for our costumes, gave us this magnificent, stretchy, sheer mesh, flesh-colored fabric, and it smells like her.
Speaking of figure skating,
Right.
she did that.
Because she did that. She's also a former Vegas showgirl, so she's kind of an all-around badass. And so she has all of this really cool stuff lying around, like this sticky, this glue, and just this fabric, just, you know, because
Around.
you know.
She's awesome.
Because in her free time that she has very little of, she just spends that making costumes.
That's right. I'm so glad that we've contacted her to do our stuff. But she suggested that we put our communicator logos on the
Not a
back.
communicator.
What a like saying that word! Our logos on the back of this fabric, because then once we build our costumes, we can then graft on our bedazzled creations, a la Stephanie.
Starfleet Academy.
It is. It is. And so that's why the stretchy stuff, I realized that during the cutting out and tracing of it, it's not easy.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, you can see my dainty lines right here. They're beautiful.
So what you're saying is you push too hard.
No! I never push too hard. That's your job. So what I used is a Sharpie marker, because you can have a very light touch and still kind of get the general outline. And so I got better as I did it more. Just like Vietnam. So my reaction time was sweet.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
More cider.
Wonderful.
You're a jerk. And so, like, there's a progression of these things. Like, they start from, like, freaking terror bad to, like, oh, the best one. We're going to go with that one for today.
Well, it is for command. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I did 7 of these outlines.
Very nice.
And I'm not going to put on the glue.
Put them on the glue.
Why? Genius. So,
Dripping glue.
yeah, and so that's my piece. It took about 2.5 hours to get all of these things on with the hot press.
Man.
Yeah.
Which then popped off.
Which then popped off in transit / me dropping on a chair like a stupid.
It survived better than the beer did. Oh.
Rip. Press F.
So if you're not using a hot press, you can then go on to different kinds of glues. I read a lot with the Gemtac that it gets really stringy and really hairy when you're trying to place things individually down. I haven't had much experience with the like name brand sparkly crystal, but also looks stringy. What I like about the E6000 is that you can, rather than sticking one on one, like putting your E6000 glue on your rhinestone, you can create a little patch of the E6000 glue on whatever fabric you're using, and then bake down your crystals, like, you know, a bunch at a time, and then adjust as you see fit.
Is bink a technical term?
Duh.
Okay.
Bink it down.
Yeah, bake it. Well, they're so tiny and
Vanessa
round.
says.
Bink, 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 bink.
Bink it like Vanessa.
It's down.
This is our diary that we have. It's the Cosplay Cabaret Chronicles, not to be confused with the Chronicles of Narnia.
No.
We're using it for historical purposes.
It's a really thick book.
A lot of big dreams
Yeah.
that are going to go in
It's
there.
going to be full of history. Speaking of history.
Can you please talk about a little bit about the Aurora Borealis? Because number 1,
Rhinestones.
Rhinestones. Number 2, space.
Yeah, totally.
Ooh.
So if you don't know about rhinestones, rhinestones have been around for quite some time actually. They originated during the 18th century. They used to gather rock crystals from the shores of the Rhine River, and that was where they got their name, Rhinestones.
Oh, I did not know that. That's so cool.
Now you know.
The more you know.
So then, in the 18th century, there was an Alsatian jeweler, George Frederick Strauss, who wanted to make, they're cheaper. Obviously, they're way cheaper than diamonds. So really easy to come by for the poor.
Silly poors. Money's for rich people.
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of the rhinestones are called Strauss. If you go to Europe, that's what they call them there. So they use them as imitation diamonds and jewelry and that sort of thing, and they gain popularity because they're so inexpensive. And then,
Why do you laugh?
give me all the things. So then, Swarovski actually was the first person / company who started making rhinestones with the backing on them, and the backing was made out of a powdered metal that would give them an effect that made them change color depending on which way you were looking at them, and that they dubbed Aurora Borealis after the effect you see in the night sky up in by the poles up in Alaska and that sort of thing. And that still is Swarovski's most popular rhinestone today, is the Aurora Borealis one. And they're really pretty. My mom was a big collector of rhinestones when I was a kid, which I think is part of the reason that when I was a child, I had a little like pouch that I would just fill with rhinestones all the time. And
Or you're just a house
them.
house, you like Dobby.
Oh.
I used to go to garage sales with my grandmother, and we would buy really cheap costume jewelry, and I would go home and pry all of the rhinestones out of the costume jewelry so I could put them in my little pouch of gems.
You really are.
Like the little goblin.
You're like Dobby. I'm gonna start calling you Dobby from now.
So yes, they're still popular. Obviously, rhinestones are used in so many different things, costume-wise, and for costume jewelry. Really cheap, shiny effects on things. You can get all kinds of.
What do you call it, cheap?
Lots of competitive costuming for figure skating and for ballroom dancing and for I'm sure drag queens really love rhinestones. Burlesque is obviously also very good, and we were hoping that we could have gotten one of our lovely fellow cosplay cabaret girls, Shalise, on the show today. But Monday is Hubba Hubba Review, so she is working tonight.
Call the Shalise.
But I actually am going to be doing some rhinestone-y type work with her at some point in the near future.
Oh, fantastic.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah.
You're going to implement these things that we've learned.
The rhinestones, they're sized based on millimeter size, so they're all based on, like, it'll say SS8. It's equivalent to 2.3 millimeters. They got really popular in the 70s, obviously, because of Liberace. And Elvis Presley.
Well, there you go.
Who were all about it. You had your rhinestone cowboy and
Rhinestone.
I looked up all the things.
I know, you're so good at this.
That's good. So the Austrians, that's what they have.
Austrians, yeah. The Von Trapp family said us, yeah.
Did the Von Trapp family have rhinestones?
No, because what's her tit was not ingenious enough. She used curtains and not rhinestones.
Why
go Julie Andrews?
Ugh!
Yeah, and they're mostly also they're made from the main three things that they're made of are either glass, crystal,
sparkles, unicorns,
and rainbows,
and powdered fairy wings.
Wow,
you have to squeeze them in your fist really hard.
Yeah.
So we're Shakespeare all of a sudden. Okay.
You are like a lump of coal.
I mean, the harder you squeeze, the more glitz you get out of your rhinestone.
That's a euphemism, kids.
Harvesting from fairies and unicorns.
So obviously crystals are the most expensive. Then you have glass, which are the next down the line, and then the cheapest ones are acrylic, but they're not quite as.
What are we working with today?
I don't know. What did you get today, Lindsay? Are they glass?
They said Swarovski on them.
And that means they're crystal, because Swarovski doesn't do whatever. They don't do anything but crystal. That's their thing.
I spent $150 on crystals.
That would be. They're for my Zen meditation.
Oh, and then I have a job. Thanks, unemployment.
It's fine.
Everything's fine. Do you have any more history? Because that was very interesting. Story time.
Let's see what else we have. That was the main thing. I mean, there isn't a whole lot of information beyond that because it was in the 18th century that they really came about, and they've pretty much been used in the same way as since then.
Oh.
Yes. Obviously, we need to come up with a new way to use rhinestones.
Don't tempt me, please. You don't want Lindsay.
I have things that have rhinestones on them that I want to talk about on the live stream.
Wow. Okay. That's super duper.
There's pasties. I'll see a lot of those later, actually.
I'm sure you will. It's kind of a thing with the burlesque crowd.
Yeah, it's interesting. I learned last Monday's Hubba Hubba Review, which is rhinestone heavy, of course, that the main person who makes all of the pasties that sell at Hubba Hubba is a guy.
Really?
Yeah. His ex-girlfriend taught him how to make the pasties, and so he's been making them ever since. And he actually uses this as well as the main, and then puts a suede backing on the back. Yeah.
Ooh, a suede backing. That's kind of fancy.
Well, you know,
Very
comfort.
Also, yes.
So how did you decide where to put the littler rhinestones and the bigger rhinestones and the sizing? Or you just...
I wish there is no method to my madness. If you take a close look at this, you'll see like it's all like some drunk person did it. I was not drunk. But
So you didn't have
you didn't
plan it out?
there was no rhyme to
I
my
can't look at
reason.
any of the symbol that we are using on my phone, because my phone is playing all of our music right now.
Yeah. But I kind of did the small bitty one for the small bitty one.
center.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. So you might want to be careful there, buddy.
Yep.
I'm borrowing your phone.
Okay. So yeah, so we have, I'm doing the commander center piece. We have the science, and then we have the operations symbol as well. The science one is 2 circles that are kind of like a Venn diagram, and the operations is kind of like the Hearthstone swirly, which I'm not equating to Hearthstone at all because that's awesome.
I played it too.
Yeah.
I can't even touch it.
There is no rhyme to my reason, except that I know that the smaller ones probably should equal like the finer points. So I went through and I did the small bitty ones and the points. I'm using the small bitty black ones, not racist, for my commander signal. And I bought these crystals, the black and there's a dark gray, and they're lovely. And I think that the commander's gonna be all black, but then like the science one, for example, is gonna have a dark gray circle and a black circle, right? So they kind of have a thing. Maybe just to use that one. But that's kind of like what I try to do, because I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's why we're learning.
We're all learning together. It's like the reading rainbow shit, right? Except with
Jordy.
no. You know, it's gonna be on Netflix. It's not exciting.
Reading Rainbow is?
Yeah. We just announced that today. Hooray! So yeah, so I think in terms of, oh god, the glue is dripping.
It's just slowly oozing out
Yeah,
of
that
the
stuff
tube.
is terrible.
Ooh! I don't know if you guys can see that, but
It's like drool.
It is like slobber.
Glue drool. There we go.
I definitely.
Give me some freaking imagery.
So I have a book if we need to draw out our things. But yeah, like I said, the Hearthstones, that's the operations. And that's the science. Medic, commander.
Medic.
I was like, medic. I know this one.
So is there anything else we need to cover in terms of like materials and how we're using everything that we're doing? Because I know that if you're trying to figure out how to rhinestone things, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff online. But actually like having a method in terms of where you stick your rhinestones, I wish I could offer some advice besides what I just said. You know, the smaller pieces obviously go for the smaller finite points. And then you just kind of fill it in. I will note though that because they are one shape, it's like a puzzle. So you have to be kind of like aware of how much space you have and if you're running out of space. And like if you have like an odd shaped space left over in your shape, like you need something that'll fit there, otherwise you'll have a giant gaping hole.
Right.
Like it isn't.
Nobody wants
like
to
like the center of our universe. Come on, don't make it dirty.
Yeah, definitely noticing it's a little bit trickier than it looks.
Yep, that's why I spent almost 3 hours today doing this.
You love it.
I do. I was watching a documentary on prohibition while I was doing it.
Ken Burns.
And drinking.
He does, no, not drinking, because I was waiting for tonight because I bought some sweet cider and an IPA for any that I killed on the street.
You poured one out for the homies.
Never forget, always in our high sweet movie bill. I will. Hashtag am I doing this right?
It's
oh, thanks, Andy.
Something to also consider is if you're using porous material like fabric,
oh yeah,
your glue is going to sink through
Yes.
So having
Ready.
something underneath your work surface that you don't necessarily mind getting glue-y is a good idea.
Right. So I think we're ready to do our Q&A section of the show. If you want paper, Stephanie, to draw out your time first, or just YOLO. Okay. Okay. Do we have a question that we wanted to ask and leave people with before we go to break? And
Ponder, what station would you want to be on the Enterprise?
Right.
Medic? Science? Command?
Operations.
Or operations? Think about it, tell us in the comments, let us know.
We're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, all your questions will be answered. Nuclear vessels. Nuclear vessels.
Vessels.
Hello,
Hello.
and welcome back.
Hopefully you guys have a bit all.
This is fun.
This is fun. Are you being facetious? Never.
I won't throw it because it's probably like 40 cents.
I know. Right?
No, don't do it.
So we are now taking any questions you may have about our process. Keep in mind that there's really no method to our madness.
You ask questions about it.
Yeah, really, at this
What did
point.
you have for breakfast today?
I had a croissant. I had a smoothie.
You had a fish?
Yes, I had a thing. So, any or all questions you may or may not have, yes, we are opening up the horrifying Pandora's box. Yeah.
I think Stephanie is the best at the gems.
No.
I do. I think you are like rocking it super hardcore.
So fast. Look at that. God damn it.
I have fast fingers.
Wow. Yeah.
Not a euphemism.
Not a euphemism.
Hey, remember when I cut out that sweet Starship Enterprise last week?
I remember all
That was
4 weeks ago.
amazing.
It was amazing.
Russian fingers.
Russian. I have no accent. No accent. Questions, comments, concerns, address them now. Either now or now would be great. Oh, I have a sticky already. That's 40 cents on the ground, Stephanie. That's 40 cents. I'm eating it now.
Really, we should just start going to ballroom competitions and just waiting until everyone leaves. And then sweeping the floor, because we'll be making money.
Yeah, right? Thanks for the free dance. I mean, oh, he is sticky.
Come on.
It's very viscous.
It really is working like with,
You need a credit card for this shit.
it's like working with Mod Podge or rubber cement.
Or,
Yeah.
Or hell.
Or hell.
Working with hell.
Sadness.
I'm creating sadness right now. That's all I'm doing.
But you
People
see,
are sadness.
once they are done,
Oh man, I'm so excited.
and once the light hits them, it will just be the most glorious thing. It'll be worth it all in the end.
I have a question. If I mix all of the glues all together at the same time on the same little logo, do you think that will create some kind of like explosion?
It hasn't helped yet. I already did that.
It's not even help. I'm just wondering if it will create some kind of death because of all the chemicals.
Because the chemicals making a giant
Or
reaction.
that's right. Or if it's just kind of a giant marketing ploy to get us to buy the same product. You tell us.
It's quite possible. I know that Stephanie's using many of the different kinds of glue.
Oh, me too.
All it's doing is gluing it to the table.
Yay! This is when you
I
cry.
quit.
No, it's fine. I would recommend doing this activity with a strong beverage
And some friends.
and some friends and a movie, perhaps.
I'm glad I didn't glue my fingers to themselves.
Personally, I like doing work like this with a Audible book because I don't have to watch something necessarily, but it's really nice to listen. So I got through a lot of Game of Thrones when I was making lots of handmade little horns for a bunch of friends.
So I think
Oh, we should bedazzle the cat.
I think if I was going to make another one of these, or to probably finish this one, I have this genius idea.
Oh, Jesus.
Go on.
Yeah.
You had me at genius.
So the problem that I'm having, that I'm running into, as you may have noticed watching the stream, is that it likes to glue itself to the table a lot.
Oh.
So I think that what I would probably do, as a crazy MacGyver artist, is make a little frame that I would attach it to so that there's nothing on the back. And then it would just be,
But you need
Like
you
this?
would need like a pan to catch the drippy glue.
not necessarily, not if you don't use too much. Not if you don't use too much.
How much is too much stuff?
Come on. I know you've used too much of something.
I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means, but I'm offended.
Ah, I think I would do that. So it would be more like a canvas, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like when you're cross stitching, you have
Yes,
that
exactly.
wheel. Yeah.
Everyone's just ganging up on Lindsay here. That's fine.
Trial and error. Trial and error.
Yep.
Oh,
Trial and failure.
that is life. Someday you'll learn. Life is failure. Life is pain.
What? Pain is life.
Anyone who says otherwise is selling something.
Whoa. Okay, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Or like.
No, that's from freaking Princess Bride. You both fail.
Failure doesn't exist last time.
Failure does not.
Have you seen Raising Arizona?
No.
No.
Yes.
Princess Bride or Raising Arizona?
Princess Bride.
Why?
I'm not a big Nicolas Cage fan.
Ah.
But he's all over the internet.
He's funny on that, but
He's funny on the internet.
and I mean it's Coen Brothers.
Do we have any other questions before we skip away to our not question section? No. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Cool. We're gonna go to commercial and change sections now, so we can just freeform and bullshit and drink more cider and bejazzle our Star Trek thing. This is going well.
We're getting things done.
I know. I feel so accomplished. Hello, and welcome back.
We needed to medic ourselves with a bottle of bourbon.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yep.
So as you can see with our continuing endeavors here.
What's that?
Disappointed.
You're disappointed
I'm disappointed.
that it's gone?
There's no good to be found in that bottle.
Stunning, disappointed.
It's broke.
So as you can see, we're having lots of fun here today.
That's the word.
Yeah, we're gonna use the word fun.
We're using it ironically.
The heck you say?
It's all gone.
It's empty.
Here, I got a new one. It's
Hey!
Rhinestones.
Rhinestone! Cowboy.
Space Cowboys.
Yeah. So this is upsetting.
This is part of the fun of learning how to do new things.
Again with our word fun.
Is that you'll screw it up sometimes. And you know what? The fun part about us streaming this is that you get to watch us
Fail.
Learn. Find out what
Is it
works
Sesame
best.
Street? This is Sesame Street.
I'm a teacher.
I'm
Success through error.
There we go.
Yeah,
Success through errors.
you are not done. I hate you.
Okay, right here,
You're
right here.
a liar.
There's my rhinestone.
You are a liar and nailed it. You are a liar and you should feel bad about yourself.
Dude, I could do the cool thing that
Oh,
Carmen
it's
does.
twerping again.
Be like, look, I have my nose pierced, but not me.
Regarding the space cowboys somebody brought up, was that the Burning Man DJ collective you were referring to?
No.
No.
There's a movie
Not-
called Space
Not
Cowboy.
that. I like the
There's
Space
Firefly.
Cowboys. I love the Unimog. I think it's a fantastic art vehicle. No, we're not talking about the Burning Man camp, however. We're talking about like a song. There's a song.
There was an unfortunate song in the 90s that happened.
I
Oh,
have a new piercing.
nice.
I got this look from Carmen, actually.
You need
She
it.
was awesome, and she was like, why pierce it when you can just put rhinestones there?
That's true.
I feel like
Please
it's
tell
a
me V6000 now.
Oh, hell yeah.
I feel like it's a good thing for life.
Why pierce it when you can
Put
rhinestone it?
rhinestones.
That's right.
You can also use spirit glue for that.
I can see them out of the corner of my eye. It's very interesting.
You love spirit glue?
I do.
What have you used spirit glue for recently?
So recently I used spirit glue on Misha's face
For his mustache.
for his mustache. For his penguin nose.
Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I also used to use spirit gum as a kid because for Halloween I was never like a princess or anything. I was always like a burn victim or like a burn victim zombie. So I had like a bunch of stuff on my face, like a scar across my forehead, and then I had like burn
I'm
victim.
saving that picture.
You should.
I'm saving it for Halloween.
Which one?
Zombie Nancy.
Yeah.
Zombie.
But yeah, so I have a story about that. And so then, because I was a super try-hard with Halloween, because my dad was super try-hard with Halloween, thanks Dad, I love you. I went to school in 6th grade as like a zombie. So I had like this burn victim like stuff on my face, which was dry. I could, whatever. Well, it was a burn victim like makeup thing, and it was like these pellets that you heated up, and then you put this goop on your face, and then it dries like this kind of sheer, very textured stuff, right? So it looked like your skin was burned. And so I had like, he spray painted my hair and my clothes, and like I had all this makeup on.
Dude, go dad.
Right? Like that was so awesome. Like that was my most, I couldn't smile because the stuff would crack otherwise, and so it was really rad. And so I entered this Halloween costume contest in the 6th grade for the grossest Halloween costume.
I remember this story.
Grossest Halloween costume. And people would stare at my face because it was horrific, right? Like what kid, what girl walks around with horrific burn scars on her face, right? I do. Right. Right. And I did, and I was stoked because I just tore clothes. Like I was awesome. I went ham on that bitch. And so during lunchtime in middle school,
This stuff is not good for my nails.
During lunchtime in middle
I'm
school,
sorry, I'm trying not to be bitter.
She's a little upset. You haven't heard the story yet, huh?
you didn't win, did you?
No,
No. The best is who she lost to.
I didn't win. I lost. You know who I lost to? I lost to a pair of M&Ms.
What? What? Are you
A
serious?
blue one and a green one. I remember this distinctly because they stood up there because of the freaking popularity contest in goddamn middle school, and I lost grossest Halloween costume to a pair of M&Ms.
Well, were they made with corn syrup? I mean, that could be the disgusting thing about it.
It's true. It's true. But this was like 97.
That's awful.
Right? I hate kids.
That's so terrible.
Yay, middle school.
So that was pretty much my entire school career once I hit puberty. Was everyone else was like better than me because I was a nerd. But that's okay. Because I was Amidala in the 8th grade. Whatever.
avoid contact with skin.
Oh. Oops. But anyway. Screw you, Tyler and Colin.
Oh, it's 2 dudes too.
Yes!
Dudes?
It was like the popular dudes. Blonde dudes that I lost to. I'm not bitter at all. Everything's fine. Because I was never popular.
You should pick three prize.
Oh, you win the grossest face now. Congratulations.
You can take your mask off now.
Ah! It's a bouquet of kittens.
That's terrifying.
Don't glue rhinestones with your face to your face with these success.
Way to go, Stephanie. Stephanie illustrates what not to do.
I was like, oh, that burns a little bit.
Yeah, it's burny.
That's okay. It was worth it.
Worth. So that was my story of terror and woe, being a child who is a nerd in a sea of normalcy. Ah, normalcy. Ah.
Be ashamed. This is terrible.
I'm super ashamed right now.
Nah.
No, I'm not. How you doing, Vanessa? You wanna?
I can show the people at home.
You wanna show the people at home?
This is my progress.
See, it's slow and stupid.
It's slow and steady. Like I said, I'd recommend audiobooks,
Bullshit.
story time with Lindsay, or alcohol,
And story time.
and story time with Lindsay. I feel like the more bourbon and cider she's had, the better, the more bitter
Oh yeah.
history comes
Super
to
bitter.
fruition.
Oh man.
No, it is a slow go process. It really makes me think about the Vegas showgirls who have just the rhinestone everything. And I'm like, was each one of those things glued on
Had to have been.
individually?
Had to have been.
Man.
Right? Like, what a bitch job. I would hate that job. So, you get that job.
That was great. I find that for me personally, I'm having a lot of time trying to figure out, like, do I put a little one in there or do I put a bigger one in there? Like, what would look best?
Yeah.
So it's like, it is a puzzle. It is trying to figure out which piece works best where.
Yep.
And then you are dealing a lot with the Mod Podge consistency of the either E6000, gem tack.
Don't put it on your face.
Don't put it on your face. Oh. Nah.
Our eyes in the skies. Thank you, Cindy. Hi, we love you. We got 13 more minutes of this shit show.
So what are we gonna be doing next?
I'm gonna put the kittens down. Thank you.
You don't want your bouquet?
How many? So wait. So how many communicators or whatever?
We need 7 of these
insignias.
Oh, college word.
My brain works better when I've had 2 ciders.
Good for you.
It's true.
Yes.
We need 7 of these bitches. Yep, not that that's upsetting at all to anybody involved, but we do need 7 of these.
Again, like with the Paint Your Own Planet episode, I feel it would be best to give cast members their templates and a bag of gemstones or rhinestones and say, here is your template and your rhinestones. If you would like to be in the act, you get to make your own. Similarly with the Planet beach ball that we did, I think that that's something that the cast members should make.
I'm gonna remake mine after that. I'm showing you right now.
You're gonna remake your insignia?
I'm just gonna use my expensive rhinestones for nothing.
I'll probably try them all off and reuse them.
Oh, I accept. How's everyone doing over there in real life Landia? Okay.
What do you do on your Monday night?
Watching
we
us.
glue
glue shit.
rhinestones.
Oh man.
I know there are a bunch of our friends who are gathered tonight watching History of the World.
Ooh.
But it's in Vallejo, which is very far.
It's very far away. And I appreciate that sentiment, I do, because it's an awesome movie.
Because Mel Brooks.
However, chiptunes and rhinestones. I mean,
However, we have this to do. So
we do have this to do. And this is far. I would actually rather be doing this though than like wasting my time, quote unquote, watching a movie.
I like doing things.
Things are exciting. Why are you just going
Generally, I'm doing arts and crafts while I'm watching TV. That's when I paint.
That's when you make your awesome planet.
Yeah, that is also when I make my awesome. I was watching Breaking Bad while I was making my awesome planet.
We got 10 more minutes of this shit show. Thanks, Andy, for reminding us that we are failures.
I didn't know if you were gonna go into showing other things.
Did
like
you
what
want
you're
to
gonna be
show
doing with-
like a close-up of...
I will show it. Just give me a couple of more minutes to like flesh out the meaty part.
No.
Okay.
I have to say, the sticky putty, what is it called? The
Blue
Scotch,
packaging.
the Scotch putty is doing a really killer job with picking up the rhinestones to bink them on your
Technical term.
piece of fabric. Like, I am so excited that if we had not made these, I would be far more frustrated. So I'm really, really glad that this was invented.
Good job.
Because it's really awesome.
Go team.
So if we have learned anything, it is definitely making these little putty sticks, I'd have to say.
I would agree with that. That's actually kind of ridiculous. You know, they have wands that you can buy at the craft store that are specifically to pick up rhinestones.
They're not great though.
They're not great.
I have one.
They're not nearly as fun as like putty on a stick. What kid doesn't want putty on a stick? I mean, adult. I mean,
Child, adult, whatever.
Child.
adult, child. Exactly.
So everybody.
Pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say. It's basically
All of the people.
all the peoples.
I'm wondering if there's anyone out there who's actually worked with rhinestones before, and if they have any pieces
They're like,
of
"Here,
advice
dumbasses."
I know.
to give us. Because honestly, what's really exciting about our project is a lot of these things, this is our first time doing it, and it's really nice to be able to be in a space to try things out and see how they go. And if there's someone out there who is like, actually, you're doing it all wrong, and this is how you can
We
do it
want to
better.
hear from you.
I would love to hear if there's a suggestion or a way to improve it.
Yep.
How we can do that. As much as I love drinking cider and spending an hour not finishing my insignia.
But it looks so beautiful.
Well, I mean, anything with sparkly bits on it is really awesome.
Exactly my point.
Yeah. But I think my favorite part is like grabbing the rhinestone with my sticky stick.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I had to like, when I was doing this earlier today, I had to kind of go through bit by bit and like lay everything out very carefully. And then like I would like twitch or itch, and then it would all be like amazing, not what I had laid out. And then I got sad, and then Al Capone came on, and then I got even more upset. Because, you know, prohibition. That was just saying. It's gangsters. Gangsters. You know, they called them the goons back in the day?
Really?
Yeah. The more you know, the more you
That's
know.
why they have the goons in Batman.
Yeah.
Joker's henchman.
Any relation with the Goonies?
No.
Oh,
I don't believe so.
But, we could say yes and lie.
say yes and say no.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
No.
Beep boop, beep boop. I've taught my niece how to beep boop on a laptop.
What do you mean by that?
Beep boop equals pressing the keys. She
Ah,
presses them, she says beep boop, beep.
like
Exactly,
a
exactly what I'm doing. It's exactly true.
So I found that if I smear the glue and make a little carpet of the not of the E6000, I find it far easier to stick on
Yeah.
the rhinestone.
I've been smearing the glue as well, creating like a carpet, but you have to be careful because then you will glue, if you don't move it every couple of minutes, you'll glue your shit to your shit.
Right, that's the question. That's the next bit.
It's not gluing shit to
Don't
your shit.
glue your shit to your shit.
Don't glue shit to your shit. Yep, this is a lot of fun.
So are we going to be doing this for future acts?
What?
Rhinestoning?
Yes.
Probably. So learn to love it, baby.
Why do you ask?
Oh, you know.
I don't actually. Why do you?
Risk and reward.
Oh. We'll say yes, because we're theater people, you see.
I mean, it may not be like an entire rhinestone insignia, but it might be like rhinestones as a flash as decor
I mean,
on a piece of costume
We're definitely going to be having pasties that have rhinestones on them.
for the ET burlesque.
I'm gonna enlist.
They're gonna be Reese's Pieces rhinestones.
They did have orange rhinestones at Michael's. They did have Reese's Pieces colors.
You're
say Reese's Pieces.
I did say Reese's Pieces. Because that's what it sounds like.
well,
I
next
feel like
time.
Mitch Hedberg's, you know, there's an apostrophe there, which means they belong to Reese.
They do belong to Reese.
Who is this Reese?
Malcolm in the middle. Alright.
Are you done? Have you
Are
finished?
you gonna- oh my gosh, it looks amazing.
Does it? I feel like it looks like it's dirty.
No, it looks great. You should show the people.
I'm crossing my eyes so it looks pretty. Okay. So I'm gonna hold this up to you guys.
Oh gosh.
And he's not done, obviously, but thank you, Andy.
You should put it against the black of the, yeah.
Ooh, yes. Then you can see it better.
So, this is my Star Trek Commander Starfleet
Insignia.
insignia. And he's pretty because he's shiny. And he's got about 100 rhinestones on him right now. This took me all day.
Wrists.
Eventually you will get better at it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Next week, we will be showing you a little bit more of our costume design.
Yeah.
We're going to be showing you how to sew spandex because we are going to be prototyping our actual Starfleet meets Esther Williams swimsuit uniform, which is so exciting.
Oh my gosh. So
It's
yeah,
awesome.
and we have a special guest next week. I mentioned earlier, one of our great friends who is a former Vegas showgirl, crazy pigeon lady, cat lady.
She's
confident.
wonderful.
She's amazing.
So she'll be on
I
the
have a
show.
giant crush on her.
Who doesn't have a crush on her?
She'll be on the show helping us stumble through sewing our spandex suits. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and a big thank you to the Misscliks for putting your hope, faith, and dreams in us.
We hope we
For
have
the
not
show.
We hope we have not disappointed you.
No, and watch their stuff too because I love their D&D Amnesia show,
the Amnesia show is hilarious.
which is wonderful.
It
So,
really is. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, same channel,
Yep, same time, same channel.
different channel, different time.
Different time, same channel.
Or an hour earlier. But you should watch them because they're amazing.
Oh.
And I will be what?
Are you gonna be up?
I'm not going to be on it.
Look
I'm a guest fill.
Wow! Looks great. Oh, here,
Hold it up. Here. You need a, here.
Here's the so far.
Here, hold it up, guys. Here.
Yep, there it is, and all of their
1 hour's worth.
sparkly glory.
Hooray! Till next time.
All right. Okay.
Till next time.
For this.
And use toxic glue on your face.
Don't eat the glue either. Also, smelling it makes you high.
What? Nobody told me that.
Bonus.